Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar, live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I'm Sonal Bhutra. Today with me is Ekta Batra. Hey Ekta, good afternoon. A Friday afternoon, but the Nifty very volatile. We're 60 points off from the highs, but 60 points off from the lows as well. At the 25,811 mark, Midcap's absolutely flat, and Bank Nifty is also in the red right now.
Hi, Sonal. Yes, absolutely. So it's turning out to be a day of a little bit of trepidation at this point in time. But on a week-to-date basis, at least, the Nifty is up around 1%. But let's take you through the top stories we're tracking this afternoon. Uncertainty over the US Fed's next move, even as NDA nears an electoral win in Bihar, keeps stocks skittish. Consumer durables and utilities notch some gains, while IT and realty drag.
Akim's Drugs and Pharma slides almost 4% in trade after a subdued set of Q2 earnings. EBITDA declines 22% on a YY basis and margin contracts from 12.6% to 9.3%.
KRBL jumps 10% after the company's net profit jumps almost 70% year-on-year and EBITDA margins expand over 450 basis points. The company posts a solid 74% jump in its export revenue despite tariff headwinds.
Jubilant FoodWorks is among the top F&O gainers today after a stellar Q2, outperforming its peers. Revenue and profits jumped during the quarter while finance costs declined. HSBC upgrades the stock to buy with a target price of 660 rupees a share.
Pine Labs makes a good debut on the exchanges, listing at 242 against its issue price of 221. The stock extends gains, surging up to 28% intraday.
All right, those are the top headlines that we are tracking. Some stocks on our radar as well. For now, the Nifty down 68 points. We have the Pharma Index, which is outperforming as we speak. The Small Cap Index doing well as well, but the Mid Cap's under pressure and the Advanced Decline ratio in the favor of declines as we speak. What is not doing so well? The Auto Index, lower in trade, banks also putting some pressure, but it continues to be a very volatile day. But as you pointed out, Ekta, week to date, it has been decent for the Nifty.
Yes, absolutely. Week to date, the Nifty has given gains of around 1%. The mid-caps also haven't done too badly on a week-to-date basis. But let's now go across to Hormuz in our mid-cap movers segment. He's tracking all of the stocks which are moving around this afternoon. Hormuz, over to you.
Final day of the week and more importantly, the final day of this quarter's earnings season. So we'll take off with some of the earnings reactions that are taking place. Firstly, on the positive side, because they are the ones that are grabbing the headlines. And look at Muthoot Finance. Still, you can say it's off the highs of the day, but still up 9.5% at a record high. Jubilant Foods is doing well, 7% higher. Bharat Dynamics as well, some positive brokerage commentary coming in after the results, 6% higher there as well. Not doing so well on the earnings front. Sonata Software is one of them, was down around 5% earlier in the day. Drugs and Sudarshan Chemicals too, building on to those losses. Stocks that are been making headlines at Transformers and Rectifiers, some big relief coming in from the World Bank today. The stock is up at 10% in an upper circuit. Aether Industries reported results yesterday, but is building onto those gains, 8% higher in today's session. And Paras Defense as well. Earnings came out yesterday, is building onto those gains, 7% higher in today's session as well. On the volumes front, Seshasai Paper is doing well for itself, among the top volume-led movers, up only 3%, but among the top gainers, Dollar Industries is up 6% and Man Industries too, 13% higher today on very strong volumes. And lastly, stocks that are at a 52-week high in today's session, DCB Bank continues to move from strength to strength, 3% higher here. And in line with that, another smaller lender, City Union Bank too, at a 52-week high today. And along with Cupid at the highest point of the day, 8% higher on the stock, a 52-week high here as well.
All right, take that point. Thank you so much for joining us with that list, Hormuz. It's a good time now to welcome Saumil Mehta of Mirae Asset Sharekhan for a technical check on the markets. Saumil, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. A volatile day so far. Do you think this is something which could continue and could intensify in the last 1 hour of trade?
Hey, hi, good afternoon to everyone. Markets has been in a good momentum on the upside. So short term, medium term definitely remains positive. Nifty has a very crucial support around a 25,800, 25,700, which is very close to 200 daily moving average, a 20 daily moving average, and a very important swing low. So these are very important crucial levels, and I'm not expecting markets to go below 25,700. The targets on the upside would be all-time highs, that is 26,250, 26,300 levels. So this is what I'm aiming for. But in the medium-term outlook, I think 26,800, 26,900 is on the cards, definitely. For Bank Nifty, again, same thing. I'll be expecting buy on decline strategy here. It has been outperforming for a little while, and I'll be expecting this outperformance to continue. But now the private banks like Axis Bank, ICICI Bank should start participating as well. So bullish on Bank Nifty, buy on decline should be the strategy.
Okay, bullish on Bank Nifty and buy on decline should be your strategy. But Somal, specific stocks, do you think that would be a strategy to play in today's trading session and maybe even going into next week?
Absolutely. Pharma looks good. As I said, private banks look good. So I have Axis Bank here on my list. Axis Bank is definitely broken out of a flag pattern, and I'll be expecting a target of at least around 1300, 1350 levels for Axis Bank. Stop loss is very small. Risk reward ratio is great here. So 1215 would be my stop loss here. And the next one is from the Pharma pack, Glenmark Pharma. It has been correcting for a little while now, but I think now it has a very crucial support around 1900, 1850 levels, and this stock should hold on to these levels. Target for this stock would be 2050 in the short term, and stop loss would be 1880.
Interestingly, it's holding up ahead of its numbers, which are due today. So that stock is, in focus on account of that. And Natco, in fact, which came out with its numbers just a couple of minutes ago, that stock is lower post its numbers. But Somal, just wondering your, thoughts on Concord Biotech. If you look at that counter, it's come out with its numbers yesterday. Stock is up around 2% today.
In the very short term, or even in the medium term outlook, it has a downtrend. Definitely weekly, monthly, low top, low bottom formation, struggling to go above the 20 and 40 daily moving average. But today is it has reversed from a very crucial level. It has taken support around 1370, 1380 levels for multiple times on the weekly charts, which is a good sign here. So I'll be expecting a target of around 1680. I'll be bullish on this in the very short term, not in the medium term outlook. Target would be 1680 and stop loss would be very strict here. That will be 1385.
All right, take that point. Thank you so much, Somal, for joining in today with those technical bets. With that, we'll do one thing. We'll slip into a short break. Management of Capacity Infra projects will join in next to discuss their Q2 numbers.
Welcome back. Well, for the markets, it's turning out to be a little bit of a lower session as we speak for the Nifties. So we're down around 110 points currently for the Nifty, down around 0.4%. And there is a little bit of profit booking, which is seeped into the key indices, such as the Midcap index, which is down around 0.2%. But really taking it on the chin now is the Bank Nifty, which is down around 0.3%. Stocks such as Infosys are now showing cuts, aggravated cuts of around 3% at this point in time. But let's talk about one particular stock, Capacity Infra projects, which reported their Q2 numbers. Revenue was up nearly 25%, while the margins came under pressure. The profit after tax grew around 10%. We have Subir Malhotra, who is the whole-time director at Capacity Infra projects, joining in to discuss the quarter gone by now. Mr. Malhotra, thank you very much for taking the time out. Just wanted to start by asking you about your full year guidance, which was around 20% earlier. For first half, you've done around 13%. How much are you expecting in terms of growth in the second half? Enough to get to that 20% mark, or do you think you have to scale back your guidance?
So thank you for having me on the show once again. And so first things first, this is amongst one of the best Q2s that the company has ever had. Q2s are always a little tough given our kind of business when, you have rains affecting the operations in a major way, and especially with the extended monsoons in this year. But given that, we have closed this quarter with 650 crores. This is up by almost, 18% on an EBITDA part. And we are standardly in the same margin of around about 7.5, 8.5 for PAT also. Coming back to your question of do we want to change a guidance? No, not at all. We are very positive on how Q3 and Q4 pans out. These are always the best quarters for our industry.
Okay, so you stick to your growth guidance of
Oh,
20%. The
yes,
second half will be better than the first half.
Oh, yes.
What about your order inflow? Year to date, it is at 3,464 crore rupees. Your full year guidance was 3,500 crore rupees. Is
Yeah,
it safe
so-
to say you will be able to exceed it by a wide margin? And if yes, what is the guidance right now? What are the projects you are L1 in currently?
So, yes, we are already at 3,400, a little over 3,400 crores for the order booking this year. We had a 3,500 guidance, and we've just become L1 in one of NIIT Mumbai's fast track project, which we have just, got run maybe a week or 10 days ago. Still have to sign the final work order, though we've got the letter of intent already. So, exceeding the order book by a wide margin is definitely on the cards. I won't really like to comment on how much we will exceed it by, but it's quite obvious that we will exceed it by a wide margin.
Okay. Just give us a sense in terms of what the order inflow is looking like for you all in terms of the second half. Sonal did mention how much you are L1 in at this point. But if you could just give us, more qualitative idea in terms of where you are seeing orders coming from in terms of the inflows. What is the competition like? Is it more than what you probably saw same time last year?
So let me answer the question this way. First things are that quarters 2 and 3, as I said, are the prime quarters as far as our operations are concerned. And existing jobs from their present revenues are really going to boost revenues in the quarter 2 and 3, taking it back to the whole yearly guidance as far as the turnover is concerned. Yes, we have a lot of orders as far as real estate is coming in from Delhi. We have humongous amount of order booking which will happen from the government orders, especially with the Central Vista projects which are coming up now. And each of those orders are now like 3,000 crore plus orders. There are humongous amount of opportunities which real estate is and Maharashtra government is itself presenting to us in Mumbai and around about Maharashtra.
Okay. Mr. Malhotra, since you are talking about a lot of orders which would come by, you're L1 in a couple of them as well. What is the balance sheet situation currently? What is the debt, the cost of debt? What is it right now? Will you be able to bring it down further? You did see some few rating upgrades that came by. And what is the cash situation, receivables, especially from the government organizations?
So, multiple questions, so I'll divide them up into multiple answers. So, question number one, that as far as the balance sheet is concerned, we are where we are with our EBITDA, which was fantastically placed in this quarter. I've already told you the PAT numbers were great. We have also said that as far as an yearly guidance is concerned, we are sticking to 20%. And as far as debt is concerned, we are happy to come back to say that we have reduced gross debt in this year. We had, I think, a 420 crore debt, and we are now 407, something in that region. But we've drastically reduced debt, and we intend to reduce debt by a gross of almost 10% in this year itself. Our net debt to equity, for which I have always been, telling the markets that Capacite is very touchy about, is not more than 0.1, I think, at the moment. It's 0.11 or 0.1 at the moment. So yes, we are very positively placed as far as debt is concerned, and as far as the balance sheet is also concerned.
What about receivables? Are you getting that on time, especially from the government sector?
14, 15 days. Gross receivables have come down to 14, 15 days. Debtor cycle has come down by almost 21 days in the last year. So as things move in the manner that our numbers are showing, all these things will take a turn or are taking a turn only for the better.
Okay, just quickly, you mentioned that Q2, this particular Q2 has been one of the best Q2s that you've ever had.
Yes.
Is that a sustainable trend going forward?
As far as we see operations coming up in the next 2 quarters, undoubtedly, yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right, Mr. Malhotra. Thank you so much for joining in today and giving us all the details on the projects going forward and the order wins as well. With that, we'll slip into a short break. But before that, a quick programming note for our viewers. You don't want to miss this at all. Meet the new team at CNBC TV18 live at 3:30 p.m. today. Watch as the new anchors make their debut.
Welcome back. Well, the numbers are on your screen. That's basically what we are getting in terms of trends right now. The NDA has crossed that 201 mark, or rather the 200 mark at this point in time. So comfortably crossing that majority mark. And remember that the total was around 243 assembly seats. And it seems as though there is a comfortable lead which has been taken at this point in time. Early trends now, or rather the trends are indicating that the Nitish-led NDA has comfortably passed that 200 mark in terms of total seats.
It would be the fifth consecutive term for Nitish Kumar if this actually becomes the final number, which seems like it would be the case.
It seems as though, but as of now for the markets, we're still a little lower at this point in time. So let's see whether there's any kind of sentiment rub-off. But the street was pretty much anticipating this outcome, you know. So anyway, it is projected for a big win in Bihar at this point in time. Remember, 243 total seats, and they've crossed that 200 mark at this point. But Sonal, you're looking at a couple of stocks.
Oh yes, I'm looking at Ather Industries. That stock is on our radar, up 10%. Now do remember, it reported numbers yesterday during market hours. The revenues, they grew by 38% on a YOY basis to come in at 275 crore rupees. EBITDA up 64%. Margins expanded 500 basis points to come in at 32%. And profits up 55% as well. After that, they had the conference call post market hours, and that is what the street seems to like, because they indicated that EBITDA margins will be between the 29 to 30% mark. They expect to grow that 25% mark going forward as well. And this is coming in after a weak phase that the industry has gone through as well. Second half will be better than the first half, and their 60 to 70% of sales will come in from CRAMS. Now remember, CRAMS is a high margin business for the company. The CM business as well will be doing well for them in the next 2 years. They have 55 ongoing projects in the pipeline from which they expect revenue recognition to come through very quickly. And their working capital days, that has reduced to 149 versus 194 days that they saw in FY25. So the P&L working well, and also the balance sheet. And that is something that the street seems to like very well. 8% higher on that stock as we speak.
Okay, all right. So that's on Ather Industries. That stock up around 8% at this point in time. So more details will be flowing in with regards to the Bihar elections. But as of now, it seems as though the NDA is projected for a big win in Bihar, crossing that 200-seat mark out of the total seats of around 243. But that's all the time that we have on Midcap Radar. Your stocks once we're back. Stay tuned.